This is Stewart for Jewish Week TV. The unexpected decision of Iranian President Mahmoud Ahmadinejad to attend this UN session on nuclear disarmament has prompted Jewish leaders as well as city and state officials to gather here at the UN to call the Iranian president a sham. John Shabiro, John Muscat, what brings you out?
David, we have one of the biggest threats to peace in the world showing up here as an ostensible world leader. We can't let that go unnoticed and remarked upon. And we really need to encourage the nations of the world to come together.
The last 2 years, virtually the heads of state of most countries in the West, and in our own country here, from right to left, Democrat to Republican, have been clear. Nuclear Iran is unacceptable. 2 years ago, there were few voices that made that case. That case is now reiterated from virtually every before every microphone.
We have protested before, and we are here again, and we will continue to speak out until action is taken by world leaders to end Iran's ambitious nuclear program now.
There is only one way to say it. Iran's participation in this conference is a sham. Iran is an existential threat not just to Israel, but also to the United States and the world community. They are blatantly ignoring their obligations to the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty and have shown time and time again that they cannot be trusted to follow the rules and halt their nuclear armament. It is now time for Iran to make a real choice about its future. Either join the world economic community or set yourself apart on a path that will result in something that is very dangerous, not only to the U.S., not only to Israel, but to the United States.
Every time Ahmadinejad steps foot in the United Nations building, he makes an absolute mockery, a joke out of everything the United Nations stands for. The United Nations was supposed to, and I quote, to save succeeding generations from war, end quote. The United Nations was created so that the nations of the world could, and I quote, practice tolerance and live together in peace and with one another as good neighbors. Ahmadinejad has not been a good neighbor.
We must go ahead with sanctions with like-minded countries, whether the UN agrees with it or not, whether Russia or China agree with it or not. We should say to every country in the world and every company in the world that if you do business with Iran, you don't do business with the United States. If a ship from a shipping company touches an Iranian port, that shipping company does not go to an American port, nor to any country that wants to regard itself as a friend of the United States.
So I promise my friends here in New York and throughout the country and throughout the world that I will not support any bill out of the conference that does not have real teeth, that will not bring sanctions, that will bring this government down to its knees if it does not cooperate with the United States and the rest of the free world.
And today the response is clear on the part of the United States, our Congress, and our people. And we are going to do everything we can to support the true democracy movement in Iran to make sure that the people there that want to throw out Ahmadinejad get our support. But if the UN is to have any value whatsoever, if it is going to shake its reputation for being feckless, this is its moment. We have been waiting for the Russians, waiting for the Chinese, waiting for the UN. It is like waiting for Godot. The time to act has long passed. If the UN was not created to deal with someone who says he's going to develop nuclear weapons for the purpose of wiping out another nation, what good is the United Nations? This is their moment.
Jewish and political leaders have made their voices known here today. Whether or not it will have any impact on those inside that building remains to be seen. I'm Stewart for Jewish Week TV.